I've spent my entire career exploring the depths of the ocean. But nothing could have prepared me for what I encountered on that fateful dive. 4 kilometers beneath the surface of the Pacific. I stumbled upon something that defied everything I thought I knew about the natural world. As I descended into the darkness, the water pressure gauge on my submersible's control panel ticked upward with a steady, ominous rhythm. The light from my vessel's external lamps cast an eerie glow on the desolate seafloor, illuminating an endless expanse of soft, gray sediment. I'd been down here before, of course, but never this deep. The Pacific is a vast, mysterious place, and I felt tiny and insignificant as I delved deeper into its depths. My mission was to collect samples of deep-sea flora and fauna for a team of marine biologists back on the surface. It was routine work, but the kind of thing that could lead to groundbreaking discoveries. I'd been warned about the unique conditions at this depth, the near-freezing temperatures, the crushing pressure, the total darkness, but I was confident in my submersible's design and my own abilities as a pilot. I'd made this dive a dozen times before, and I knew what to expect. Or so I thought. As I reached the bottom of the slope, I noticed something strange. The seafloor seemed to be shifting. At first, I thought it was just the usual drift of sediment. But as I looked closer, I realized that the ground itself was moving. It was a slow, sinuous motion, like a snake slithering through the grass. I felt a shiver run down my spine as I realized that I was seeing something that couldn't be explained by any natural process I knew of. I tried to take a sample, but the soil was too dense, too heavy. It was as if it was being held together by some unseen force. I decided to move on, to see if I could find any other signs of this strange phenomenon. As I traveled across the seafloor, I began to notice that the distortion was everywhere. It was as if the very fabric of the ocean floor was being warped and twisted in ways that defied logic. I saw rocks that seemed to be melting, like wax in a furnace. I saw strange, glowing tendrils that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. And I saw things, shapes, creatures, entities. I don't know what to call them. They were like nothing I'd ever seen before. They were vast, amorphous, and seemed to be made of the same shifting, liquid material as the seafloor itself. They moved slowly, deliberately, as if they were aware of my presence and were watching me. I felt a creeping sense of dread as I realized that I was not alone down here. I tried to communicate with them, but they didn't seem to respond. They just kept moving, kept shifting and flowing like the seafloor itself. I knew I had to get out of there, to escape the crushing pressure and the creeping sense of madness that was beginning to grip me. But as I turned my submersible to head back to the surface, I saw something that made my blood run cold. One of the entities was following me. It was moving slowly, deliberately, its shape shifting and flowing like the seafloor itself. I knew I had to get out of there, to escape the darkness and the terror that was closing in around me. But as I ascended, the entity kept pace with me, always lurking just out of sight. I could feel its presence, could sense its malevolent gaze upon me. And then, just as I was about to break through the surface, everything went black. I don't know what happened next. I don't know if I made it back to the surface, or if I'm still trapped down here, surrounded by the twisted, nightmarish landscape of the deep sea. All I know is that I'll never be the same again. That I've seen something that can't be unseen. And I know that I'll never be able to shake the feeling that I'm being watched. That the darkness is waiting for me, just beneath the surface.